What's good, y'all? Johnny J back at it again with another video. Yeah, this is another Mind of Johnny J video. And I don't know, another thought popped in my head. Um, just thinking, sitting down there, just I don't know, maybe I'm just too much in my head. But anyways, I was like, man, like with everything going on as far as like the way the world is, I was like, man, it's too corrupt. I feel like I'm on some like Thanos type ish, but like more of an extremist type of point of view where it's like this world just needs to be thrown in the garbage. Like honestly, because it's like I feel like we are too far from fixing. Like when it comes to different like aspects such as like it always goes back to like the inequality aspect, right? I mean, the easiest thing you can point out is like racism, for example, right? Where it's like a conversation of how to fix it. I think it's more than just like a US type of situation. It's a global situation, in my opinion. And I feel like it's so far that you just can't fix it. Like people always gonna have their prejudices. People always gonna treat one person, whether it's a woman, whether it's a black person, whether it's a Hispanic person or someone that's different, they're gonna treat them as less than. And it's this whole idea of like superiority, right? And then that goes all the way back to like the beginning of time where like humans created like these separate tribes, and one tribe would try to conquer another tribe or take over what another tribe was built up. And I'm just like, yeah, this is a mess. Even like I'm watching this series called Vinland Saga, right? Where you just see all the Vikings just coming in there and just destroying all these villages, and they kill the men, they kill the kids, and they rape the women, and it's just like people are just trying to live, you know what I mean? And it's just like, yo, this has just been, and that was like the 11th century, and it's been like that since like even before then. So I'm just thinking like shit's not getting any better. On top of that, like I'm looking at it like things like the cost of living, right? For example, like I live in Cali, and it's just expensive as shit to live out here. And then I'm just looking at other places, and people are just arguing and fighting over like minimum wage, and minimum wage is not even a livable wage, and people are making less than that. So it's just hard to survive. And I'm just like, yo, like this shit is so unequal, unfair, and it's just so hard to make a living, especially if you compare like the cost of living now to like back in the day. It was like back in the day it was doable. Back in the day it was a bit more simplistic. Now it's just so complex, and it's just so many different factors that go into you not being able to make a living in order to support yourself. And it's like I think we just need to start over. I mean, like I said, going to the Thanos thing I was talking about earlier, where like if you've seen the Avengers film, his whole thing was like there are people out there starving, there's people out there struggling to survive, so let's wipe out half so that we have more resources for people to survive off of. And to make it fair, he'll do it randomly. So randomly people were going, and you see in the movie the negatives of that, but I think it's maybe might have been some positives about that. Certain people who weren't given certain opportunities before, now that their spots open up, they have opportunities. But then also in the movie, I think it was more so Endgame where he realized that the Avengers were trying to fix everything, and he had made a statement like those who remember what was can't let it be. Can't like I don't know exactly, but if you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. It was like pretty much he was saying that those who were around during that time where it was like where everyone was there, and now it's like half the people are gone, and they're still there. They remember exactly how things were, so they want things to go back to how they were, and they can't move on from it. And even now, that's relatable, right? Where you see how like in Hollywood, I'm thinking of like all these people who are being accused of like all these like sexual misconducts, and they back in the day they were able to get away with it, but nowadays they can't because of social media and all these things like that. So I'm pretty sure a lot of them are like, man, if it was like it was back in the day, I'll be able to do all these criminal activities and get away with it, but and that's just like a twisted form of it. I'm looking at it from more of a perspective of this world is too messed up, and people always, you hear people saying, oh no, it can't get much worse, it can't get much, it can definitely get worse. It 1000% will get worse, just for people in general. And although there are strides to go for the better, there's strides to go more into like a positive light, it's that negativity is still there, because the people in power are still the same people in power that were in power back then. Even when they aren't in power, they've raised up a certain group of people, a younger group of people, to have a specific type of mindset that's very similar to their own, very reminiscent of their own, to continue on with that type of, with that legacy, right? And then you see it, even me going back to the whole racism thing, right? You see it now where it's like, the whole idea of like these old racist people are going to eventually die. But if you look at a lot of some of these racist situations, a lot of these people are kind of young. So it's like that mindset still hasn't gone away. This whole mindset of I'm better than you because of the way I look or the way society sees me is just like, all right, this can't be fixed. Like it's just too messed up. That's why like I can't believe in a God. Like I cannot believe in a God like at all. It's no way that you could sit back and be like, I'ma just let this be. You know what I mean? Like, even if you're waiting for a specific time where shit gets super fucked up to come down and try to fix shit, there has to be hints of you coming down there just to clean it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, you can't wait for it to be a fucking big ass mess and then all of a sudden come down and be like, I'm gonna fix it now. Like, nah, you should have been doing stuff every maybe like couple hundred years to be like, all right, cool, let me do a quick little cleanup. And then when I'm ready for the super big cleanup, it's not as bad as, it was originally. So that's why I'm just like, atheist mindset, can't believe in a God. This is too fucked up and it's going to get worse. And that's like me being realistic and not having like this positive, optimistic point of view. So that's why I'm just like, yo, this world needs to go. And I think I'd be fine with that, honestly. Like, if it was some type of weird nuclear explosion that was to occur and everything was just destroyed on this planet Earth and no one survived, I think I'll be fine with that. And that gets us into like, should we do it on our own, or should are we going to be the cause of our own demise? That's another question that just now popped in my head, where it's like, are we eventually going to put ourselves in the position where we off ourselves? And I'm talking about ourselves as like a human race, not as like one country like the US, for example. I don't know. I have no clue. But yeah, man, it's just something that popped in my head. I'm just sitting there just going through And I was looking at certain videos where like certain people are just being treated in certain places, and I'm like, damn, y'all still doing this bullshit? Like, I shouldn't have to deal with the same shit or shit that's similar to what someone who was seen as less intelligent dealt with or put on to people 100 years ago, 200 years ago. Like, we're supposed to quote unquote progress, right? But there is no real progression because people still on that bullshit. So I'm just like, look, we're not learning. Clearly, we're not fucking learning because it's still a conversation piece. So shit, let's just let it all go. This just, if it's a god, just clean this shit off, wipe it out, and start anew. Cause you fucked up. You ain't doing shit if you really exist. And you need to be a bit blah blah blah. And you need a bit And you need to be a bit more proactive the next go around. If you really want to do this creating humans type of shit. Anyways, these are my thoughts. Yeah, this shit just needs to go. More so realistic, pessimistic point of view. Jonny J, I'm out.